Okay. Wait a minute. I will let Mariam as co-host. Okay. Hi, everyone. Happy to see all of you and welcome back to today's session organized by VODAN Africa. My name is Putu, and there are the agenda today. There are some agenda. I will copy paste the agenda to you into the chat box. Actually, the general we will update about general progress of agreement and also deployment, and maybe if there is a question about theory of change and also business plan that presented by Dr. Araya, if you have a question, so you can ask Dr. Araya today to make your own country theory of change and also the business canvas from each country. And before we start the meeting, so please turn off your mic, and also if you have a question, please type them into the chat box and you can raise your hand. So maybe now I will give the floor to you, Dr. Reginald, to lead the meeting. Yeah, the floor is yours, Dr. Reginald.
Yeah, thank you very much, Putu. This is our weekly meeting where we come and give updates on what's happening in our respective countries. Yesterday, we had a very successful country coordinates meeting, and some of the highlights will come from the meeting of yesterday, where we're looking at image challenges, then the question of agreement, as Putu said, and then Araya on the theory of change and how each country can respond to this. So I hope we shall have a very successful meeting. So thank you very much. You're welcome. I can see Professor Miriam is joining. So I'll hand back to you, Putu. Thank you.
Wait a minute. Is Professor Miriam joining the meeting? Oh, Dr. Reginald, do you say that Prof. Miriam joined the meeting?
I saw her join, but you just continue. When you see her, you respond to her. Okay. Thank you, Putu. Go ahead.
Okay. So I will start the agenda of agreement progress. Maybe because Ephraim is here, so it's nice to have you here, Ephraim. So maybe let's hear from Ephraim from Adi's side. So what is your update for the agreement, Ephraim, and also maybe you can update us about the deployment. The floor is yours, Ephraim.
Can you hear me, Putu?
Yes, it is clear.
Okay. Just there is no update from us, especially from this side, because as Professor Miriam know, we have finished the contractual agreement with the University of Kampala, but the money transfer of money for computer recruitment and other issues are not done. Just we have selected the pilot health facility, and we discussed with the data steward, and this is all about Addis.
Okay, Ephraim, do you aware about the agreement letter from because I think you are not in that meeting. You wasn't in the meeting of agreement letter discussion. But do you aware about that?
Yeah,
about the agreement?
Prof sent me the contractual agreement.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but we are waiting for the transfer of money.
Okay. Okay. Then I will move to Din Jamal to asking about, because yesterday we discussed about MOU from for you you said to us that you create an MOU for Ministry of Health and also for VODAN Africa. So how's the progress, Din Jamal? Can you explain to us about the condition?
Yes, thank you so much, Mr. Buto. Thank you for leadership. Yes, for us, we have to try to develop MOU, which explaining everything that we want from both sides in East Africa University and on behalf of VODAN African and also Ministry of Health. For us, I think we are quite different from the other countries. As long as we have a government, they have leadership of all health facilities. So when you wanted to implement some kind of project, you have to have a signing agreement or contractual agreement with the Ministry of Health, which means you have to have a MOU or any kind of contractual agreement that can allow you or give you a permission to operate on the selected health facilities. In that sense, in facility agreement that we developed, we saw that it's quite not, it's okay, but we need to formulate and also or edit in line with the context and the line of the needs that we wanted. So I have drafted the MOU and I shared it with Prof. Mercham and she made some comments and still I'm working on it. I also shared with the leadership management on behalf of the East Africa University. We want to look at critically and explain what's the role is that each partner will play, because I don't know the other countries how they are implementing, but for us, and Minister of Health requested us to take a lead of the project and be part of it, though it's good, but for us to ensure the standards that we need, we try to have to make it quite separate from their internal system. For example, health workers, data stewards, they will definitely be under the contract of East Africa University, and with in that sense, we need. I'm working on that MOU, and within this week or this week maybe, I will finalize it and I will share with Prof. Mitchell, and then we will critically look and comment, and then we will send from the General Director of the Ministry of Health or Health Policy and Planning Director. Also, we have a meeting this week with District AGMS Office Manager. We will discuss way forward and the key activities and how we take it forward. So that's our update. Thank you so much, Uto.
Din Jamal, I have a question. This is my concern yesterday, but I forgot to ask you about that. So you said that in MOU there will be an expectation, like will be the list of expectation between VODAN to the Ministry of Health and Ministry of Health to us. So but maybe we can discuss it after get your draft. But is it I'm quite like not really confident if there is an expectation. But can you share to us about what is the Ministry of Health expectation to the project? Maybe for I think the general expectation of Ministry of Health, because MOU is about I think MOU is about promise. I mean, like what we can give to Ministry of Health and what Ministry of Health give something like what we want from the Ministry of Health. So can you explain a bit about that?
The expectation is when in sense of this is a project, you know, we are using the data and the system is owned by the government, and they want us to look what exactly the project is all about and what's the key deliverables that the project will bring and what's the quality of values that this project will add to their existing system. Also, Gito and I, we presented the project and they asked us a lot of questions about how we wanted to align. We don't want it to create a confusion about the how the health facilities. So we wanted to have in data fallow to be intact as it's so normal. For example, currently, when the health workers, there is a facility in charge who is assigned to collect the data from the health facilities on monthly basis, and that health facility in charge report to district HMIS officer, and district HMIS officer look and check the data and then share with the regional district officer, and then regional officer share with the central. That's the fellow of the data. So the question is, when we're implementing, they asking what is the key, what they expect from us, how this can support this existing system. We explained that the system, this is a pilot project, and we wanted to pilot it, and then we explain how this can the system will support in terms of data availability, data finding, how usability, and also quality. So right now we are in, they expected us to know how the system can support that existing system. That's the key expectation from their side. And we want, even they asked if the data stewards be from the Ministry of Health side. And for us, I don't see an point, because I need to someone that they can control in terms of performance, in terms of everything, in terms of attendance. So that is the content, who the contracting with the data stewards is a question. How the system will support that system is another question. And also that the security of the data and data, that is the question. But we try to explain it. And I think everything we will do. They are expecting to be part of the project implementation as we want, because we want to include district HMIS officers to be part of the project. So in that sense, we need to clarify everything in a very clear way that and avoid any confusion. That's the main point, Boto.
Yes, Din Jamal. But if you finish with the draft, please share it to me, Din Jamal, because yeah, I just wondering what kind of delivery that you put on the MOU, and yeah, because I
think there's a detailed discussion between Jamal and Professor Miriam. So maybe you can have a side talk with them both. Then it's easy to clarify. This is why we say country specific sometimes can be a bit of a challenge. Thank you.
Yes, okay.
Exactly. Thank you so much, General. And Buto, there will be there's no more changes on the what we already have. There's no more changes. Just we want to modify in line with the context. That's what we did. There's no more changes on the facility agreement. But just we don't want to modify it and just that's it. But there's no more changes in the content of what we have already developed. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Din Jamal. Okay, so let Dr. Reginald, can you update about the agreement? Actually, you update the agreement progress yesterday, but if you have any newest update for today, so you can update it now.
No, not yet. No new updates. The agreements are within the health facilities. So I'm going to sign, then the health hospital director signs, then the Minister of Health endorses. That's our procedure. So I hope in the coming week we'll be able to achieve all of these three. Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Reginald. How about Dr. Sakira? Do you have any update about the agreement? Maybe if you face any challenges, Dr. Sakinat, can you update the agreement? Dr. Sakinat?
Hello, Putu.
Oh yes, Dr. Ibrahim.
Yeah, on the
Okay, you can go
agreement,
ahead.
yeah, we at the moment we have not seen any challenge, but you know, we have in our team some of the senior consultants of the medical services and other people that are also familiar with this kind of record. So we will revert back next week because we need to talk with one of our senior person who is now appointed as the chief executive of one of the most senior health facility in Nigeria, Dr. Waziri. We have introduced him here before. So we'll go back to finalize with him while we are also working on some technical details. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Dr. Ibrahim. And maybe from you, Mariam, do you have any update today, or you have an example of a draft that you want to share to the health facility? You can go ahead, Mariam.
Oh, okay. Well, with Uganda, the deployment is actually basically done on the on the computers, and now we're just working around the logistics on how to get the computers to the different locations because they're far apart from each other. But with KU Teaching Hospital, that we're almost actually done, and it's almost complete as well. And then tomorrow, hopefully, Case Clinic will be done too, and then the rest of the facilities will follow as well. Then with the agreement, I'm still waiting for one more person to sign, and then I don't think it's necessary to share a draft anymore, seeing as there's different situations in different countries. So yeah, that's the current updates.
Thanks. Yeah.
Sorry, but in case anyone is interested in having a look at the, let me say, the Ugandan copy when it's complete, you can reach out to me. Yeah.
Yeah. And also, I just checked the my email, and Dr. Araya shared the agreement. Dr. Reginald, do you get the agreement from Dr. Araya?
Yes, I got it.
Yeah.
Very
Okay.
well done. Yeah, thank you.
And maybe the last one, update from Ronald. Can you update about the no agreement is yeah, about agreement and deployment for today's update.
Oh, okay. Right. Hi Putu, how are you? How's everyone? Right. So just a quick update on the agreement. We are still reviewing it. We came up with a few things that we are going to change, but it's also subject to us discussing it with the other team from Zimbabwe, the Great Zimbabwe University team, and we should actually submit our submission by the end of the week, hopefully after we have met. But everything seems to be on track on that agreement. Most of the things that have been highlighted in, especially in yesterday's meeting, we're also looking at them and also seeing them as some of the things that can actually affect the signing of that agreement. So we're actually editing that, and we'll actually be sending our submission once we are done. Then on the deployment, I've got Rudo with me today. She's part of the technical team that has been doing the deployment, and we successfully had deployed the system on in our lab, and it seems to be working. Everything seems to be going fine. However, in the beginning, we had some challenges with the image. And we also noted that when we were installing, the system was a little bit strict on the hardware resources, and that you had to have a system that a hardware system that has got at least 32 gig RAM and so on. So from yesterday, we learned that there is another way to go around that, where you can use your hard drive as part of the swap memory, so that you can actually beef up if you have less than 32 gigs of RAM. So Rudo is to work with Samsung's team to have that up and running. So once that is done, we are to deploy in 5 other sites, and I think that's the update in a nutshell.
Okay, thanks, Ronald, for the update. And I see Michael team. Dr. Arya, do you want to update about the agreement? Because I just checked my email and find you send the agreement. And also maybe if you have any update about the deployment.
Yes. Hi, Dr. Reginald and Putu. Good afternoon, all. So as you have said, we submitted or we shared with Dr. Reginald the signed contract agreement, but we have prepared a brief update on how we are moving into the deployment and the implementation. So including the contract agreement and other updates, Gato will present on the Tigray update. So if you allow him to share his slides, that would be good. Thank you.
Okay, you can share your slide, Gitu.
Okay, Putu, thank you. Hi, Putu. Hi, everyone. So I will present the progress on our slide. So so far, the partners agreement and data processing agreements are signed and submitted, as Dr. Reginald was mentioning. And the facilities are categorized into 2 categories. One is the either comprehensive special hospital, of which the agreement was signed by Dr. Emmanuel, the Chief Executive Director. And the second category is the Tigray Regional Health Bureau. 9 facilities will be under the control of the Tigray Regional Health Bureau, of which 6 are health centers, and 3 are hospitals. So the agreement already signed by Dr. Emmanuel on the either specialized, comprehensive specialized hospital, and the Regional Health Bureau side, Dr. Hagos has signed it, as you can see on the slide. And Dr. Area was mentioning the concern of having COVID indicators. However, we found out that one hospital that we selected is used as isolation center for COVID patients. So we hope we will get the data from this particular hospital. It's called Makala Hospital. And we are planning to contextualize the data privacy and data sharing regulations, which VODAN is following the GDPR. And we are going to contextualize that into our, there are current regulations for data sharing and data privacy declared by the country. So we will try to contextualize the GDPR into that regulation. but we have already accepted on the agreement in the as it was stipulated in the agreement sheets. And today we had a brief discussion with the Health Management Information System head at the Tigray Regional Health Bureau, which controls the 9 facilities. And we had successful discussion, and we discussed on how to mobilize since we are not getting any computers from the VODAN side. We are trying to facilitate we are trying to mobilize the computers for each facilities. We had a good discussion, productive discussion with the head of the Health Management Information System at the Regional Health Bureau. In addition to this, we had also successful discussion on how to mobilize the experts at each facilities. So with regard to the why we are doing the readiness assessment, as proposed by the VODAN, the computer specification we are currently installing the MVP on are a little bit high standard, like RAM 32 GB and processor with 3.0 gigahertz processing power. What we are planning in case of either specialized hospital, we are going to use the client server architecture proposed by Text before several months ago. So we will have a server. We have a server in the hospital, so we will use that server to install the MVP, and we will try to use minimum spec computers at each unit. For example, at the ANC units, we will use either minimum spec computers, or we could use tablets to display the forms where the domain experts will record the registry data. Regarding in the case of the 9 facilities, we have discussed with the head of the Health Management Information System of the Health Bureau, and we will try to find moderate computers with moderate specification, and we will try to deploy the MVP in each facilities with single computers. But in either case, since it's a very big hospital, for the future, we are going to use the client server architecture for sure. So now we are trying to lay the foundation by deploying the MVP on the server and use the client server architecture. So the plan forward, we will have a visit to each facilities this week, and we will do the readiness assessment in each facilities. While we do the readiness assessment, we will try to capture the videos that were required. And for the next week, we will meet again with the Tigray Regional Health Bureau Health Management Information System experts, as well as the head. We will try to discuss about the computers as well as the experts. And we will launch the MVP installation at IDER. So we will have a meeting with the HMIS of the hospital and the Electronic Medical Record Administration. So we will have a talk with them, and we will discuss on how to go forward with the usability of the MVP. And the readiness assessment consists several things inside the readiness assessment, and of which facility readiness is a key. which contains core readiness. I will try to show you the form. Actually, it's already shared. I hope you have seen the draft. So in the facility readiness, we will have core readiness and organizational culture readiness, technology readiness. This will help us to assess the level of the readiness of the facility and try to know the culture. I mean, were they using previously the digital health interventions technologies? Do they have any experience with technologies and so on? And we will try to assess the infrastructure readiness as well. Do they have network, internet? Do they have computers and so on? And we will try to assess the human resource as well. Human resource, in our case, in each facility, at least there is one health information technician. So we will assess that as well. This readiness assessment draft was adopted from the technology infrastructure checklist. It's already available on internet. You can Google it. So we have adopted some of the checklists from the technology infrastructure checklist, and we have also referred several e-health preparedness checklists as well. Thank you very much. I will show you the form if time allows.
Yeah, you can go
Can I
ahead.
continue?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay. So overall, this is the health facility readiness assessment for VODAN MVP implementation. So it will start from the general information. You will have the health facility name and health facility type. So we are focusing on the OPD and ANC service functionalities. The second category is facility readiness. So under facility readiness, we have core readiness, which tries to see the facility prior experience on digital health intervention and the plan to adopt any technologies. Do they have previously planned to adopt technologies? And the second one is organizational culture readiness, which focus on the management. I mean, the culture of the management. Are they ready to accept any digital health intervention? And the second is, do they collaborate with governments, private and NGOs? Do they have any experience on collaboration on the digital health intervention? And the third is technology readiness. So at the facility, do they have the guideline? Do they, for example, at country level, we may have guidelines to implement technologies. Do they follow these guidelines? One, do they have patient data protection measurements? Do they check the viability of the digital health intervention that is going to be implemented in the facility and so on? And we will also check the infrastructure readiness. So we will have tables like this. If they have computers, for example, we will put every specification of the computers and so on. Do they use applications like DHIS2 and other HMIS and AMR applications? And the final one, we will assess the human resource. So in the human resource, as I tried to say earlier, at each facility, at least there is one health information technologist, but there could be other staff related with the technology, or the domain experts themselves may work as health information technologists with short trainings. So we will assess this at each facilities, and we will put the professional categories. This will help us to select the responsible experts for our purpose. For example, in patient privacy, security, personnel, and so on, we'll select from these professionals. So this assessment will help us to select the appropriate one. Thank you very much, Putu. If there is any question, you can forward it.
Is there any question before we move to the next or any comment? Thanks, Samson and Dr. Araya for excellent presentation. And if you if it's okay for your team, please share the readiness assessment. Actually, I have not readiness assessment, but the current condition of the health facilities. It is on the beginning of the project. I start to check how's the current situation, but it is not the readiness. Maybe I will share it to the group. Maybe you can check it. Maybe we can like compare how's is it is there any like useful information for you? Yeah, and also if you can share the checklist, so it will be really helpful for other countries.
Yeah, Putu, we have seen the checklist you prepared in the beginning of the project. Oh, yeah. And I think we can merge both checklists, and we can have one final checklist, so that we can use the checklist, the readiness assessment checklist across the facilities. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Getu. And well, it is 15 minutes left. I think I will move to the next agenda, but I will skip the fourth agenda. I think there is no time to do that. But yesterday, I think it is quite clear. We need to start from the bottom to up about theory of change. But if there is any question, you can ask to Dr. Araya or Getu if you need a clarification. There is a question from me. I think is Bert still here? Yeah. So today,
yes. Yes, I am.
Actually, I want to. Yeah, actually, I want to ask to Eric, but because Eric is absent, so I have a discussion with Katie today. It is about. I'm still concerned. Well, you heard that Dr. Araya present that some of health facilities asking about the GDPR, and Dr. Araya asked me to can we like attach the GDPR because it is about trust. So I have a question about this. So how to maybe only a general, maybe you can it's not too detailed answer, but how to like in the other project, how to prove that we are GDPR comply. Are we going to do the data protection impact assessment? And well, who can do if we will do data protection impact assessment to prove that VODAN Africa is comply with GDPR? Who will do the assessment? Is it allowed to data privacy without a training of GDPR, or GDPR certified could do that from internal VODAN? For example, I will do that because I'm the data privacy officer in VODAN Africa, or we will prove to the countries by like maybe someone from outside the organization of VODAN Africa will check it, and then we can state ourselves that we are GDPR comply, or in this stage we will say that we are GDPR comply by proof that we are not like violating the GDPR article. So what do you think, Bert?
Yeah, this is a very good question, actually. Typically what we see is that such a process starts with self-assessment. So you'll see that 2 or 3 experts in this field would then set up a a series of meetings to see if they can do the self-assessment. And you do the self-assessment against certain criteria. And you've seen that Erik Schultes, together with a few other people, they have written down, they have articulated these type of criteria. So you can tick them off one by one, but it will take experts to actually take a good look at that. So once you have the self-assessment, you could actually declare the fact that you as a group of experts, and normally 2 or 3 people, that they feel that you're fully compliant with GDPR. And then the next phase is that you will have an outside party look at it. That doesn't have to be immediately, but you can do that, let's say, over time. And then it's good to have let's say, one of these certification accredited companies, and there are a few in Europe, but there are a few in Africa as well. And I had been talking with Dr. Reginald to see also if we could use some of the African certifying bodies, and we could then ask them to actually hand out an external certificate. So you start with the self-assessment through a document where the criteria have been recorded, and then once you are satisfied internally and you need an external certification, then you would actually go to a certified body who would then give it to you, preferably in Africa. If we cannot find a right party in Africa, we could have one of the Europeans of these certifying bodies to step in, and that's something we can help with. So that is basically that is the route that we want to take, and I will discuss with Erik Flickenshield also, because he's quite close to that subject. So I will see him later this week, and I will bring it up with him. Does that answer your question?
Yes, it answer my question. Actually, I got a course about ISO 27001, so I think it is quite same
Yeah.
same logic.
Yeah, same logic, yeah, same structure. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, perfect. And we can always set up a separate meeting where you would invite 2 or 3 people. We'll have Erik Flickenshield and maybe one other person, and then we can discuss this in a small team. Absolutely no problem.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Bert.
Bert. Yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
Good. That's fine.
Okay. Is there any question, or Abdullahi, do you want to respond it because you type in the chat box?
Yeah. I mean, hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can go ahead,
So
Abdullahi.
that's a good question. It has always been on my mind, like how do we prove compliance to regulations even in country? And one key regulation is data protection anyways. And in the case of Nigeria, there's the NDPR, which is more or less similar to the GDPR. And the agency directly responsible is the Nigerian Technology Development Agency. So having to interface with them or their designate will help in validating that we do comply with local regulations and data privacy policies of the country. Yeah, just to add that if you're considering how this will pace out in Nigeria, then indeed there is that agency. We could look at the document too, vis-a-vis the
Is it only me, or I cannot hear you, Abdullahi? But I got your point. Well, I think I will discuss it later to Bert and also Erik, maybe with the other expert about this, because there is another question. If you say that, I just thinking of, if we want to prove the GDPR, okay, we can assess from internal VODAN and also from the expert, from outside expert for GDPR. But then we promise that we will comply with GDPR and also local regulation. So it is like a different process. So we need to have assessment of local compliance, and also if we want to have like outside certificate, so we need to have outside like a certified agency to do that. But I think let it live for now. Do you want to say something, Dr. Araya, because you raise your hand?
Hello. Yeah. I just want to remind the two country coordinators about the theory of change. Probably to start, it could be somehow confusing or difficult to prepare a theory of change with a diagram or with a template that we have shared. But a good starting point that I think could be what is the impact that we want to make in each country. So if each country coordinator can write on the WhatsApp group what is the impact, the objectives, or the outcomes that we are looking for to achieve in each specific country, then that could be very useful to prepare an overall arcing or a kind of theory of change for the whole VODAN team. Me, Getu, and other team members from Magala, we can take the inputs from each country, and we can prepare a theory of change for the whole VODAN community. But I strongly believe that knowing where we are heading and the impact, having a clarity, what is the impact we want to make, what are the indicators for measuring our outcomes, are key. Otherwise, it's like walking in the dark. I know as a VODAN community, we have objectives, we have we may know the details as a project, but each country, each implementing partner, and everyone involved in the VODAN community should have a clarity and a good understanding of where we are heading. So I believe this is a very crucial step to at this point in time. So I want every country coordinator to give a good emphasis, and Dr. Reginald can make a good emphasis also on this. But I want to just to reiterate or remind every country coordinator. Thank you.
Yeah, just to support that, I think the question yesterday was everybody to try and then consolidate that at country level. Again, you might find that whatever you want to do may not suit in certain situations, but we need to understand that. That's why we're doing this exercise. And then if you have any question, just ask Dr. Araya. Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Araya. Good insight. And I also want to say to you that I forgot to invite you to my base camp. So I think I will invite you today. And also for the country coordinator, I'm still like rearrange the guideline of video, because as we discussed yesterday, Prof. Miriam wants the video from the people's perspective. So it is like more on the impact and also what is the expectation and also what happened in the facilities. And we need to capture that not from the technical view, but from the people view, or the health facilities person view. So I will rearrange that, and I think I will send it to Dr. Araya and Dr. Reginald if you have any idea to add or change. So maybe we can finalize it this week and then redistribute it to the country coordinator. So, okay, is there any comment or question before I close the meeting? So there is no question or feedback anymore. So I will close the meeting then. So thanks everyone to join this meeting. And as always, I will share the video recording so you can catch up if you skip the meeting in the YouTube. And I will share it to WhatsApp and see you next week for the regular meeting. Bye everyone.
Perfect. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.